Hey, what's everybody? And today we're finally talking about the new reveals by Jazwares for their Five Nights at Freddy's figure line. So I'm gonna take a look at every picture of that I could get in decent quality to talk about these figures and kind of give my own opinions and thoughts. And in I guess some more regular fashion, I guess I'll go on a little bit of a rant at the end in regards to Funko losing the license and whatnot and everything, and some kind of small little grievances that I kind of want to get out. Also, this is a bit of a new kind of style I'm doing. I just feel like it's a lot easier this way to talk about news and stuff and everything without having to get all set up and interior and everything. I know it sounds lazy, but I feel like this is probably the best. Anyways, let's start out with the first figures here, which is a Freddy kind of like almost 3-pack. So you get like an endoskeleton and you get 2 suits that go on the endoskeleton. I will show the package and everything here shortly, but just at first glance, these things look great. They look really, really great. Freddy, classic Freddy could use maybe a little bit of extra paint and maybe some little bit of dirt and grime, but I mean, Withered Freddy looks great. I think the only things I can really say is that maybe the hands look a little small, but overall, these things look absolutely amazing, and I'm just blown away by what Jazwares has been able to put out with this line. And from what I'm seeing, I'm already going to be picking every single one of these up. Taking a look at Classic Freddy real quick here, he is missing a little bit of paint on the ears, but overall, this is an amazing sculpt. And, maybe the legs look a little bit on the wide side, but overall, I love it. It looks great. And again, the hands do look a little small, but these are prototypes after all, so they might be changed down the line. I believe these figures are expected to come out, during the fall. But overall, this thing looks absolutely amazing. I really have no complaints. I knew Jazwares was going to make the line super well, so I had no doubt in their ability to do that, because if you had any experience with their Sonic line way back in the day, they did a really good job with that line, and so I already knew they were going to do a good job with this. So, love Classic Freddy. Now we are going to talk about Withered Freddy, and of course here's a kind of shot of Classic Freddy 2 in there with his mouth open and everything kind of posed up. Withered Freddy looks amazing. I love the attention to detail when it comes to all the different holes and stuff and everything. I'm just curious of, since they're using the same endoskeleton, because technically the endoskeleton from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is different from the FNAF 1 version, so them using the same endoskeleton is a little bit, strange, but of course when it's all covered up, it probably doesn't really show too much, so that's kind of fine, but at the same time, sometimes I'm a stickler for accuracy. But other than that, he looks painted super well, and again, the sculpt is absolutely amazing. Cannot wait to pick this up. And here we have a picture of the packaging, and this is some amazing packaging. Oh my god, you could honestly just display this and it would look easily just as good. I love how it's kind of looks like, I don't know, it's like a shadow box almost. It feels like, it goes in very deep, and it's like a hallway. I mean, you guys know what I'm kind of getting at. But I mean, this thing looks amazing. I absolutely love the way they made the packaging look like there's a light shining down on the endoskeleton. Just beautiful, amazing packaging. I know I've said that quite a lot, but I mean, this is just an amazing looking set, and I'm pretty sure this retails for only about $20-something, which is crazy. That's a super good deal. You technically get 3 figures in one, although you'd probably have to pick up 2 packs to have both of them in figure form. But honestly, I would not mind doing that. You might be seeing a lot of Classic or Withered Freddy just straight up suits on eBay, just due to people probably getting multiple of these sets to just have figures just straight up on display. Oh, and here's a pic of the endoskeleton. I kind of forgot to talk about the endoskeleton. He looks really great, and looks like he has some pretty good articulation, and it looks like there is some kind of dirt or shading, or not really shading, more like a black wash on him. He looks absolutely really, really good. Now, there is also a Bonnie set. No Chica or Foxy set revealed yet, but I cannot speak. I can't wait for those to be released, because I really want to see what the Foxy one looks like. He's my favorite out of the four. But Classic Bonnie here looks really great. Maybe the color might be off, I'm not completely sure. But overall, he does look really, really, really good. And the Withered Bonnie, too, looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to have these. I want these so bad. I want these out right now. And, you know, from the looks of it, they look pretty damn good accurate. Thank God Jazwares got the license, because these figures look so damn good. Man, I wonder how they pair up to the Legends figures, or how tall these are actually going to be. And, of course, here's a up-close shot of Withered Bonnie. Sorry for the quality with some of these pictures, and you can kind of tell I got these off of Insta. It was kind of hard for me to try and find some decent photos to talk about these, but as you can see, you got the same kind of like wash that Withered Freddy had. Definitely could use some more paint, but I mean, that's why I'm a customizer, so I'm definitely gonna go to town on these figures. But as you can see, they got you know, all the necessary bits and pieces of damage that these Withereds need, and I cannot wait to have this. Absolutely cannot wait to have a full Withered collection. And now we have the toy animatronics. They're going all out with FNAF 2 here, and I absolutely love it, because Funko never did a single thing for FNAF 2, which really sucked. But we have Toy Freddy here, and I just think this picture here is just kind of funny. It kind of feels like the whole "Mom, I threw up" kind of memes. But I mean, he looks really good here. Super big and fat. Not sure if the feet are accurate in terms of like being like that. But he looks absolutely really, really, really good here. Love the paintwork and sculpt. It just looks absolutely perfect. They did, honestly, an amazing job with Toy Freddy. Now, it also seems like the toy animatronics will have this jump scare kind of gimmick, so I'm really interested to see how that can work in photos, because it looks pretty, I mean, that's cool. And, of course, here's a look at Toy Freddy's packaging, and again, I absolutely love what they're doing with this packaging here. It's very nice, new, and fresh. It's finally not using that same render that Funko would always use. And here we got a look at Toy Chica, and as you can see right here next to Toy Freddy, you kind of get a sense of the scale, so they are actually, you know, putting these guys in scale with each other, which I very much do appreciate. I feel like sometimes the Funko figures just felt very out of scale when it came to certain characters. But it's nice to see that they're actually taking scale into consideration and doing, you know, the best that they can. And as you can see, Toy Chica's feet are actually different than Toy Freddy's, so honestly, I think that is actually accurate. Now, showing an in-depth look here at Toy Chica. Again, sorry if the image quality is bad. Pulled these straight out of Insta. But she looks really, really good. Paintwork looks really nice. The overall sculpt looks really, really, really nice. I have absolutely no problems with it. I think the colors are perfect. I mean, for prototypes, these things are pretty damn good. Now, I'm just hoping that maybe somehow they, you know, find a way to... sorry, I almost hiccuped there. But I really hope somehow they find a way to do the beakless and eyeless look, because that would definitely be pretty cool, or they release it with a second figure, or they find a way to do it with this figure. And as you can see, Toy Chica also has the same gimmick as Toy Freddy. It really is great that we're getting these toy animatronic figures now, because Funko just decided just to not make the toy animatronics. Well, the traditional looking ones at least, because we did get this kind of hot steaming pile of garbage. As for the last and final action figures that were revealed, then I'll get into some of the other smaller stuff. We do got Toy Bonnie and Mangle out of all things. I mean, this Mangle figure looks really great, but I'm going to talk about that shortly. We'll get into Toy Bonnie first. Looking at Toy Bonnie here, he looks absolutely amazing. Yet again, Jazwares is just doing an impeccable job with these toy animatronics and these figures in general. I'm not sure if the color on this is too accurate or not. It seems pretty blue, but then again, these are prototypes, and they have been listening to fan feedback, which, as a company, you should do. Take notes, Funko. Now, there's a decent bit to unpack with this Mangle figure. So as it was expressed in, at Toy Fair by one of the Jazwares officials, this figure is made to basically coincide with how Mangle works in the games, and I think that's absolutely an amazing idea. So it is a pull-apart, put-together kind of attraction, and this is a pull-apart, put-together figure, so you can kind of mix and match and put it in any which way that you want, and it just looks so damn good. They did a wonderful job painting it. They did a wonderful job sculpting it. This thing looks great. My only concern is maybe its stability, if anything, because it looks like they may have it kind of sticky tacked down. So that's my only maybe issue when this figure does come out. They may resolve that, they may not, but overall they did an amazing job. Now for something that's not action figure related, they do have this kind of plush Freddy as like glowing eyes, sound effects, and looks to be like fully posable. I think this is a pretty cool idea. It's not for me personally, so I probably won't be picking it up unless they have a Foxy and Withered Foxy that they potentially might do. Then you'll absolutely probably see one of those pop up on the channel in the near future. Now, you cannot have a Five Nights at Freddy's line without some plushies, so here is their mainline plushies, and oh my god, these are miles better than Funko's plushies. I know I'm bashing Funko a lot, I will get to that, but these things look so good. They almost remind me of the Sanchi plushies. Foxy's looking a little bit iffy, but Chica looks great, Freddy looks great, the puppet honestly also looks pretty great. These look like they were stripped straight out of the game. I'm not really going to talk about the plushies, but I did find this Foxy picture that just looks kind of funny. Although, I do really like these plushies, I might pick them up, it's a possibility. They do look really, really good. Definitely a lot better than whatever these were. Now, since Jazwares does own Squishmallows, they did make some Squishmallows, so here's the Foxy one. Looks pretty good, not too bad, not really my thing, but, they may be for some people. They, of course, also have a Bonnie one, which doesn't look, too bad. And, of course, they also have a Chica one. Really interesting to see how these kind of format to this kind of style, but again, not for me, but I know a lot of people do go crazy over those things. And now, finally, the last product from Jazwares. They have these kind of like plushy bag clips. These also look pretty cool for what they are. Would be kind of interested in getting the Foxy one. And it seems like these will be in blind boxes, which I will show here shortly. But overall, these look honestly really great, and they kind of remind me of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, way back in the day of these bag clips. These things were horrendous, but those actually look pretty good. And here's what I was talking about. It does look like they will be coming in blind boxes. Not only did we get Jazwares reveals, but we also got Fat Mojo reveals. So, Fat Mojo is doing Five Nights at Freddy's buildable sets, and don't these look a little bit familiar? First I'll talk about this packaging. Doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty great, and got a nice little figure here. This is the Roxanne Wolf one, and it honestly it looks really, 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 really good. Definitely picking this up. And here is a look at the build. Overall, the build seems kind of mid, to be honest, but it is a nice little set. It's probably gonna be a cheap little set, so it's probably no big deal. Although I'm pretty sure the picture on the front is the destroyed Roxanne Wolf. Not 100% sure, but it looks like a decent little build. But let's talk about the figure itself, because that's where things get a little bit interesting. So, as far as the figure goes, to the new FNAF fans, or, people who are kind of new to this, FNAF merch in general, you probably won't know what's going on here. I will talk about the figure straight up first, though. It looks really, really good. I love the paint work, the sculpt work looks great. The articulation looks pretty good for a little minifigure. But I want you to kind of take a look at that head for a second. And the way some of the pieces are. Are we seeing the revival of a much beloved FNAF merch line? I wonder who it could be. But it looks great, and honestly, when I saw this, it caught me extremely off guard because we're potentially seeing right now the revival of the McFarlane buildable Five Nights at Freddy's sets. Basically, it's under a new company and everything, but that's basically what we're seeing here. It has the same head system, has the same body structure, same pieces for the most part, but with added elbow articulation. This made me really excited, so I'm definitely going to be picking up some of these. Oh man, when I tell you, when I saw that image, I just almost jumped for joy because I absolutely love those Five Nights at Freddy's construction sets by McFarlane. Hopefully, Fat Mojo will not just do Security Breach and will continue to do some from the other games. That way we can see updated versions of a lot of these characters. Now, Funko did come out with something. It was their Funko Pop Withered Wave. I mean, it looks cool. Might pick this one up for my girlfriend because she likes Mangle, and she's not really a huge action figure collector, so something like this is nice for her. Just because, Funko Pops are kind of, well, I'll get into that. I mean, they look cool, and especially seeing the ones on the back of the box, they do look, pretty cool. I mean, it is just a Funko Pop, but too little, too late, Funko. I mean, I'm sorry, but, you guys waited this long to make Withereds, and you already lost the license. At this point, you pretty much fumbled the bag. And I don't know how you could with a franchise that is just teeming with eager fans to buy, but, you just didn't listen, and you fumbled really, really hard. I will say, though, I'm probably going to pick up their Withered Foxy Funko Pop just because I like Withered Foxy, and I did get the U2's one, and the U2's one is amazing. But now it's the point of the video where I talk about Funko, and I talk about some of the, problems that I've been kind of seeing float around as far as Jazwares as a company. So, let's get started. Okay, so Funko had the license for however long, years. They made the first wave of figures for the first game. They completely skipped the second game and the third game. They made figures for the fourth game, and so on. So Funko's a bit of a mixed bag. They had a franchise that was basically a gold mine, and they just did not cash out on it to the fullest capabilities, which is just very strange. A company like Funko that just pushes out product constant right and left, and they just choose to do so little with it. It's very strange. Now, I admit, there are some people who may have disagreed with my opinions on Funko, and that's completely fine. You're entitled to your own opinion, and I will do nothing to change that, but I will, just kind of give you insight to maybe help you kind of maybe see things in a different way, while still also holding your own opinions, of course. But the main issue here is that they just did not make anything really that good. I know people are going to get mad at me for that, because there's a bunch of Funko defenders out there, which, is kind of fine. Funko's not really a bad company or anything. They just make kind of lackluster products. A lot of their stuff is just the Funko Pops, which, I mean, I could take them or leave them. I have a couple Funko Pops. I don't hate them necessarily. I just think they're just kind of like the normie buy. And this guy right here, which I'm going about to show here in a second, he kind of explains it pretty well about, Funko's products, basically. So I'm going to throw it up here right about now.
Not made, like if you're an adult buyer, you're getting Lightning Collection, you're getting SH Figure Arts, you're getting high-end stuff, you're getting the Super 7 stuff that they do. So I don't really, like, the only explanation, and this is a bit of a hot take, I think that the only people that will be buying these Power Ranger items, and I call them the ignorant normie purchase. And what an ignorant normie purchase is you have people that want to engage with geek culture, but they're not deep enough to know of the good items that are available. So they'll only purchase the impulse items that are available in their local stores. That's how Funko Pop survives. That's how some of the other companies kind of survive. this is going to be a Mighty Morphin product that's going to be in a Walmart, a Target, a Hot Topic might carry a few of these, Spencer Gifts, whatever. And you're going to have people like, dude, I love Power Rangers. Oh, I'll get this one. This reminds me of the original. It's those kind of purchases because I don't see kids wanting to get these.
So I hope that kind of explained what I was, getting at. He brought up a really good point. I know he's talking about Power Rangers, but he brought up a point about Funko Pops and, the whole idea of an ignorant normie purchase. Now, that's not meant to be derogatory, but it definitely sets in stone that, like, okay, that actually makes sense. That's why there's so many Funko Pops, this and that, and you see a lot of people who want to engage in the culture and want to collect. The first thing they have is Funko Pops, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that is essentially what Funko as a company is. Their products are that kind of ignorant normie purchase for just anyone who just wants to just start in and get in and collecting. And well, unfortunately, the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise and community and everything has only ever known products like that. And now to finally actually get a full-fledged toy line, like a real toy line, it's a genuine culture shock in a sense. And it's a great one at that, because these figures by Jazwares look so good, getting every one of them. But Funko basically just, gone are the days of, Funko's plushies that look like bootlegs, honestly, and the action figures that just break and snap and, due to age. And gone are the days of just the mindless, like, ridiculous, like, different versions of characters that Funko decided to do, like the blacklight figures, which I think were just a stupid recolor. They had, like, Easter figures, which, although were an interesting design, it's just, the fact is, they didn't make characters from the games. They just refused to make characters from the games and instead chose to do these wacky, goofy versions, which honestly sucked. Because I wanted characters from FNAF 2. I wanted characters from FNAF 3. I wanted these characters. No matter how poor quality the figures were, no matter if the figures were breaking all the time. I even have a couple that are kind of on the verge of just being broken. But it just really, really sucked because I wanted figures like that. I didn't want Firework Freddy. I didn't want Liberty Chica. I didn't want Freddy Fazbear. Liberty Chica clogged store shelves for so long. I don't know if... And they finally just got off shelves because they had to move them, and I bet they showed up at Ollie's. I 100% bet it. Because I know the tie-dye figures are, at Five Below. Man, I will admit, though, Funko did, of course, their Funko Pops obviously will sell. Those are fine. They did have some good plushies. Not a lot, but they did have some good ones. I do think their mystery minis were, a neat little trinket. But a lot of their other, like, main stuff that, were supposed to be the main buy just were not up to par. And I know that's gonna, be hard for some people to hear, but Jazwares is treating Five Nights at Freddy's a lot better than Funko ever did. They're making characters we've been begging for, and that's another thing. Funko never listened to the fans at all. Never. How many times did the Five Nights at Freddy's community beg and ask for withereds? You even had guys like Puppet Steve, who allegedly had an insider with Funko, literally asking them about withereds, this and that. It's just a whole crazy, like, roller coaster. But Funko just never listened to the fans. You have Jazwares over here, though, listening to fans. Clearly they already are by just immediately starting out with a bang, doing Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is very strange. You would assume they would do the first game, but no, they're doing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because there is a hole in that market, and they know they have to fill that market to please the fans and get people on board with the line, and it's working. It's working with me. I already have previous experience with Jazwares products, so I know if the FNAF franchise is in good hands, and, really great ones at that. But, yeah, they already know there's a hole to market, and they're filling that hole and that void of missing characters, and they're doing a fantastic job, a much more wonderful job than Funko ever did. You can disagree with me on that one. That's completely fine, but I think the majority will probably, agree with me. At least I hope. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not here to really bash Funko too incredibly hard, but I am just kind of pointing out the obvious from an outsider's perspective looking in, and from someone who has grown up around Five Nights at Freddy's merch from Funko for literally ever, and constantly going in the store and seeing Liberty, Chica all over the shelves. But this is what happens when you're a company and you misuse a franchise. You end up losing the license, and that's what Funko did, and I can't say it was not deserved. Now, this is the part of the video that gets a bit tough, and I know there's probably going to be some people out there who aren't going to want to hear this, but I feel like it genuinely needs to be said. Now, I've gotten comments like this one, basically saying that they don't want to support, or that they're not comfortable with supporting Jazwares due to the CEO who is apparently directly supporting attacks that happened in Gaza. Now look, I don't like politics. I don't like getting political, but when people bring politics into this space of toy collecting or communities and stuff like that, politics do not belong in toy collecting mediums. They just don't. Now, I know this is going to come off as pretty harsh, and some people are probably going to be angry at me, but I'm an honest reviewer, I'm an honest person, and I'm being completely straightforward and honest right now. Now, if you let somebody else's political opinions guide you in the decisions that you make, that is completely your choice. Although, I'm going to be straight up and forward with you. How can you be your own person if you're letting someone else's decisions decide what you're going to spend your money on or do what you want to do? Now, here's the problem. Everyone's entitled to their own political opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion in general. I think we should just leave it at that. We need to stop bringing politics into the toy collecting community. It doesn't belong there. Keep politics where it belongs, within the government. Now, Jazwares is doing a really good job with these figures, and I'm not trying to glaze or nothing, just because I have my own past experience with their figures, and I think they do a good job. They listen to fans, they make amazing figures and amazing products, and I have already shown those products, and I've said how great and amazing those things are. But now with taking that off the screen, I just want to simply talk and explain a little bit further. Alright, so look, I personally don't align myself with any body of government. I think both sides are stupid. I think both sides have their own issues. And the only thing I stand for is what makes the most common sense. I'm not going to say my own views because I know people will argue with me on those in the comments, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give anybody the light of day to even try to argue with me about politics, because I do not talk politics. This may seem like it, but I'm simply just stating, that, you are who you are. You can choose what you want to choose. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I strongly urge, if you like these figures and you think they look nice, and you think they look cool, do not let someone stop you from buying it. Be who you are, be what you want to be, buy what you want to buy. Do not let someone's decisions run your life. Now, with that also being said, I feel like with the way the world is nowadays, we let things like politics ruin relationships, friendships, and the decisions that we make. And I believe as we grow and we mature, a lot of you, I'm hoping, will mature to the point and kind of see things from my point of view that, these are just trivial things. Everyone has an opinion. It's nothing to get crazy over, and, I know there's probably a lot of activists out there and this and that, but it's, you shouldn't let things like that run your life. It's honestly not that big of a deal, and I know that's even going to sound pretty bad, and I'm probably going to get hate for even just saying that, but in reality, it's not that big of a deal. So what? Someone has an opinion about a certain thing. Everyone has different opinions. That's what makes us human. We're all different. Every single one of us are different. There's not one single person that is the same. Now, there are companies where there are, bad people within these companies. I think simply having an opinion about something is not bad, whether it's a good opinion or a bad opinion. I am simply judging, you should judge a company based on its product, not on its beliefs, but on its product. Unless the beliefs influence the product, then that's different. Like, let's just say, like Jazwares or something decided to put propaganda merch or something like that. Now that's different. But these are simply Five Nights at Freddy's toys. These are action figures. These are toys. I'm going to judge the company based on their product. And from what I can see, they're making amazing product. Better than Funko. And that's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but they are better. They truly are better. Now, I feel like that's what we should be basing this company off of. Not on, its CEO's belief. Because, believe it or not, the CEO doesn't actually have a hand in the figures at all. The figures are part of maybe the monetary gain, of course, but the people who make these figures are the designers. Scott Cawthon, obviously, of course, approves all of these, and he's the one who decided to license with them, and I'm glad he did, because he was honestly losing with Funko. And, regardless of your opinions, your political beliefs, that should be kept aside. It should not seep in through the toy community. There's already been a couple people who have already done that. I've already talked about one person in particular who has done that, who's far more of a big name in the toy reviewing and toy collecting community, and I think that was wrong. And I called stuff like that out because that is wrong. You should not be doing that. You're free to have your own opinion, of course, but when you bring it into a medium like this, all it's going to do is cause arguments, cause fights, and cause people to lose the whole point of even reviewing things or even talking about action figures, and it's just going to cause too much discourse. Not to mention my own, that's why my channel name is Display Discourse, because, the things I say, I'm brutally honest. I'm going to cause some discourse, but it's for the greater good. And, I just think we all need to chill out. We need to stop bringing politics into every conversation where it doesn't need to be. And we should just enjoy these products and enjoy the breath of fresh air that the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has been given with these new figures. And you bet your sweet bippy I'm going to be buying these. I'm going to be reviewing them. I'm going to be buying them. I'm going to be giving my honest opinions about them. I'm not going to be talking politics. I'm not going to be talking about the CEO. I'm going to be talking about the figures themselves. And just to put it out there, these figures are at a damn good price. $10 for the individual figures and $20 for the, I guess you could say triple pack, but it's definitely a duo pack. Those are good prices. They look like great figures. We're getting a great character selection, and that's how I'm going to judge it. You can choose to judge it based on whatever you want to judge, but the base and bottom line is stuff like this should stay out. Now, I think that's all the points I did want to hit. I know I'm probably going to make some people upset with the way I'm thinking and with my opinion, because it seems like nowadays having an opinion will get you in any sort of crossfire no matter what. And also, I just want to put it out there too, again, if your parents believed a certain way that went against what you believe, would you stop eating dinner that they cook for you? I know that's a goofy analogy or metaphor or even comparison, but it's kind of the same concept here. I know food's like a necessity and not a want or need. It is a need, but you get the point. Just don't let people's opinions, control your life. Please. And if I get hate from this, I get hate from this. I'm kind of used to it. But anyway, pretty sure I talked about what I want to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Will definitely be buying these figures. They look absolutely amazing. Make sure to like my socials, my Insta, and my TikTok for more action figure related posts. and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will absolutely be a review to this next time. On the road to 1,000 subs.